Hi all, today we'll discuss about Top 30 Spring Bus with a Spring Boot real-time interview question. So what all are a Spring Cloud Bus and how we will use in a Spring Boot. So the first question is what is a Spring Cloud Bus? So a Spring Cloud Bus link distributed system with a lightweight message broker like RabbitMQ, Kafka. It allowed for broadcasting configuration change and other event across a microservice architecture. So this for that purpose we are using a Spring Cloud Bus. This is a message broker like Kafka and RabbitMQ. The second question is how does a Spring Cloud Bus differ from a Spring Cloud component stream? So a Spring Cloud stream is used for the building event-driven microservice, while a Spring Bus Cloud Bus is specifically for propagation event across distributed system. So these things, a Spring Cloud Streams is used for the event-driven microservice. The next question is, what are the main component of a Spring Cloud Bus? The main component include this message broker like Kafka, RabbitMQ, event listeners, and event publishers and all. The next question is, can you explain how a Spring Cloud Bus integrated with a Spring Boot? A Spring Cloud Bus integrate with a Spring Boot via auto configuration and annotations. So a Spring Cloud Bus application can easily send and receive the event over the bus using a Spring messaging capability. The next question is how do you set up a Spring Cloud Bus in a Spring Boot application? So we have a two annotation at the rate refreshed scope and at the rate event listeners. Through that we will do that. The next question is what is the role of refresh scope at the rate refreshed scope in a Spring Cloud Bus? So at the rate refresh scope is used for refresh bin with configuration changes is broadcasted across the Spring Cloud Bus. Now the next question is explain the difference between at the rate event listener and a stream listener. So event listener is used to handle the application event within a Spring Boot application, and a stream listener is specifically is processing the message for the external resource like Kafka, RabbitMQ and all. And the next question is how do you broadcast a custom event using a Spring Cloud Bus? So application event publishers will be there. So that we will do. The next question is what is the importance of message broker in a Spring Cloud Bus? So message broker like RabbitMQ, Kafka. The next question is how does a Spring Cloud Bus handle security? So a Spring Cloud Bus handles securities. Uh, Spring security part they will use for this handle the security. Now the next question is what is the refreshed endpoint in a Spring Cloud Bus? The refresh endpoint is an actuator endpoint that trigger a refresh the applications. So at the rate we have refreshed scope will be there annotation. The next question is how would you troubleshoot this issue in a Spring Cloud Bus? So you can troubleshoot by checking this message broker logs and all and debug the applications and all. The next question is can a Spring Cloud Bus is used with microservice that do not use a Spring Boot? No, a Spring Cloud Bus is specifically designed to work with this microservice ecosystem. The next question is how does the Spring Cloud Bus handle versioning capability, compatibility? So Spring Cloud Bus ensure compatibility through this careful version management of dependency. The next question is what is the common use cases of a Spring Cloud Bus? So common use cases for broadcasting configuration changes, synchronized cache across the service, propagations, domain event, microservice based architectures. Mostly we use for that a Spring Cloud Bus. The next question is how do you scale a Spring Cloud Bus in distributed environment? Scaling involve configurations with the message broker to handle high volume of traffic and ensure that each microservice is stateless and handle event independently. The next question is, what are the limitation of a Spring Cloud Bus? Limitations include reliance on the message broker, potential performance bottleneck if not scaled properly. The next question is, can you explain the concept of bl- binding in a Spring Cloud Bus? A Spring Cloud Bus binding refers to connecting a microservice to the message broker channel. Binding are defined in the application configurations to map input and output to the message channel. The next question is, what is the role of at the rate enable binding in a Spring Cloud Bus? At the rate enable binding is used to link a Spring Boot application to the message broker by specifying a channel it should connect for the sending and receiving message. The next question is, how does a Spring Cloud Bus ensure reliability in message delivery? Reliability is ensured through the underlying message broker which support features like message persistence, retry, dead letters, career queues and all. The next question is, what happens if message is not delivered in a Spring Cloud Bus? If message fail to deliver depends on the message broker configuration. Broker like Kafka can retry, store message in dead letter queue or trigger compensatory actions. The next question is, how do you handle message filters in a Spring Cloud Bus? So message filters can handle by implementing custom filters or interceptors in a Spring Boot application. The next question is, what is difference between at the rate input and at the rate output in a Spring Cloud Bus? Define the channel where applications will receive the message, output will deliver the message or send the message. The next question is, can you integrate a Spring Cloud Bus with other Spring Cloud component? Yes, a Spring Cloud Bus can integrate it with other Spring Cloud component like a Spring Cloud Config, a Spring Cloud Stream, a Spring Cloud Gateways, and others. The next question is, what is the role of a Spring Cloud Config in conjunctions with a Spring Cloud Bus? A Spring Cloud Config provides centralized configuration management, and a Spring Cloud Bus broadcast configuration changes across the microservice. Spring Cloud configuration. Yeah. The next question is, how does Spring Cloud Bus contribute to event-driven architectures? A Spring Cloud Bus support event-driven architectures, enabling microservice to communicate asynchronous via event, improving scalability and decouple the services. The next question is, what is the significance of message durability in Spring Cloud Bus? So message durability ensure that events are not lost in transit and can be replayed in case of failure, which is crucial for consistency in distributed systems. How would you implement error handling in a Spring Cloud bus based applications? So error handling can be implemented by configuring error channel, dead letters queue, and custom error handling logic within your Spring Boot applications. The next question is, what is the best practice of using a Spring Cloud Bus in production? The best practices include monitor the message broker, ensuring independent, idempotent message handling, security, communication channel, optimizing broker configurations for performance. The next question is, how do you monitor and manage the Spring Cloud Bus system? So monitor can be done using a Spring Boot actuators, message broker tools like Kafka managers, and integrate with this monitoring system like Prometheus, Grafana to track the message flow of system health. So these all are the Spring Cloud Bus related top real-time interview questions. So with the Spring Boot, so how we are using a Spring Cloud Bus, what is the Spring Cloud config, and how we will integrate with the Spring Cloud Bus in the Spring Boot. So this, thank you.